Aloma ma'am, a warm welcome to you. And Gauri Savanji, the very awesome Gauri Savanji, a very warm welcome indeed. So on that note, what we'll do now is let's have the conversation amongst all of you. So maybe Soha, you'd like to take it forward from here?
Absolutely. Well, first, just have to say that I saw the video for the first time, and I'm glad they played it a second time because it gave me some time to get my emotions under control. I thought we'd have to come on stage right away, and it was very moving. It was what an incredible story, and it's such an honor to meet all three of you on stage at the moment. You're the heroes of not just the moment, but like forever inspirations for us. Gauri ji, of course, Nisha, and Aloma ji. It's really wonderful, and I mean, there's so much love in their stories, and it's so beautifully captured in the film. I wanted to start with Gauri. Can I call you Gauri? Gauri ji? I have to ask you, of course, you know, because I'm a new mother as well. What's it like to be a Vix mom?
Vix mom. It's really have changed my life. I always used to say, विक्स की गोली लो खिच खिच दूर करो, पर ये विक्स की गोली ने जो ट्रांसजेंडर्स के लिए देखने का जो नजरिया था वो बदल गया. I was there, I was visible, but I was always out of the family. You know, the family का structure क्या होता है, उसके बारे में कभी भी कोई लोग नहीं बोलते थे. और जब मैं आपके सामने आप ही का बच्चा लेके जब आई, तो आपने कहा, अरे ये भी हो सकता है. And this has given by Vix. So I'm enjoying my motherhood because I always say motherhood is a beyond gender. माँ होने के लिए तुम्हें स्त्री होना ही जरूरी नहीं है या किसी को जन्म देना ही जरूरी नहीं है. मदर, यहाँ बैठे हम सभी माँ है. To love someone, to care someone, that is a motherhood. And I always say, care के सिवा कुछ नहीं होता है. और बच्चा, तू लाखों में तारों में मेरा एक सितारा है तू आज. मतलब पता नहीं, मैं बोल नहीं पाऊंगी.
Well, Gauriji, firstly, आपने जो कहा था that the word care, you know, it is not just gender specific. या फिर माँ होने के लिए it doesn't mean that just a lady has to be माँ. Anybody can. It's not gender specific as well. So I'll come to you, Gautam. I think first of all, what are your emotions resonating from the One in a Million Touch of Care film?
Looks so inspiring. I really want to congratulate Vix for taking up this initiative, and I'm sure that's going to grow much bigger in coming years as well. And I think it was very, very inspiring, very emotional as well. And I've got a question to ask Nisha से. Nisha, आपके लिए माँ का touch of care का क्या मतलब है?
I was born one in a million, but that didn't define how my parents treated me. They treated all of us the same, and that helped me lead my life the same as everyone else. I didn't care what the world thought of me because I already knew who I was.
This is what makes you one in a million.
Well, we'll come to you, Shriya. And you did mention that, you know, you managed to get a glimpse of it. But how different was the experience watching it now here and twice in a row? How was the experience watching this Wix One in a Million Touch of Care?
Yeah, like Soha said, I'm glad you played it twice. The first time I saw it and I looked at Soha and both were like crying, and then second time I was like, shit, no, you have to calmly go crying like that. But it's funny. I mean, we all try to not show our emotions and, you know, try not to show it out, and it's just how we are. But I don't know why I didn't when I was crying and when I was looking at the. I mean, it's clear why we were crying, because it's touching, it's beautiful, it's moving, it's inspiring. Anything that inspires you to that level makes you very emotional. But I think beyond that, I saw fighters in that video. Not just her parents and her, but people she has touched and people she has inspired. And that's a fighter right there. It's a believer who went beyond, and it's someone who didn't live with sympathy. It's someone who lived with hope, and someone who believed in themselves. And that's, for me, was very inspiring. And so, yeah, and I think what I liked about the video is that I wasn't crying because of what I saw of her. I was crying because it genuinely moved me. So that's the beauty of the video. I like that part about it.
So Shriya, would you also have a question for Aloma ji, something that you'd like to ask her?
You know, I was reading somewhere that a child gives birth to a mother. And so how did that happen? And, you know, how did she change you?
Well, this whole question, if a child gives birth to a mother, in that case, I was given birth to 6 times. We have 6 children. Well, I guess by the time Nisha gave birth to me, I was rather a tired mom. And Nisha came in there and changed our lives. She rejuvenated the both of us. It's just not me. But I'm a mom and she has a dad too. And she rejuvenated both of us. And it helped us to rediscover what we really wanted to do. And I think the first thing was that we had to accept within ourselves who our daughter was. Our daughter, at such a young age, had already accepted within herself who she wanted to be and who she was. And I think with this realization came how can I say this? That, you know, we discovered a long time ago that a family is not made with blood. A family is made with relationship. We strongly believe that the essence of what we believe in is love. And with love comes, and the essence of that love is our relationship with our daughter and with our other 5 children, in case they claim I didn't mention them. Yeah. So Nisha, really, in a way, we for us, you know, parents at our stage in lives are doing pretty much nothing. And we are still going for school sports, parent-teacher meetings, homework, study. She's been an absolute blessing in our lives. She's very pleased I said that.
Alumaji, I think, Soha, would you also have something that you'd like to share or you'd like to ask Alumaji?
No, I'm just, I want to share the fact that again, I mean, like everyone is saying, I'm sure you've heard this many times. It's just so lovely to meet you. And it's so lovely that you have so much love in your heart to give. And I see how important, you know, parenting is and how influential you are in Nisha's life and how she is in your life. And I've experienced that over the past year with my daughter. I think it's one of the most difficult jobs to do. There's a lot of responsibility, and the fact that you've chosen to do it 6 times means that you have a huge heart and, you know, a lot of energy. And it's just wonderful to be here, as I said. You know, very few days are like this where you meet people who are so full of love. I'm repeating myself, I know, and so inspirational. So I'm just very happy to meet you.
And Gautam, and any further message that you'd like to share from this beautiful afternoon that you witnessed?
Look, how honored am I sitting with 3 real heroes. I think probably we keep talking about Bollywood, we keep talking about cricketers being real heroes, but there are 3 real heroes sitting in front of me. Apparently, I'm sitting with 3 real heroes, and I'm absolutely honored to be here. I think these are people who will change this country. I think these are people who will change how this country will go forward. And I'm really want to congratulate again, I think Wix for taking up this issue, not because I'm here for a Wix event, but I think these initiatives will definitely change how we look at how this country needs to move forward as well. So really, really honored to be here.
I think that's very beautifully said, Gautam, because many a times what happens is we look far away for inspiration. We look at news articles, or we look at